Hey, I have a handy dandy chart. I was getting to the affordability piece of SNAP. Almost 40% increase under Joe Biden of what was spent in the people that entered the food stamp / SNAP program. That's 40%. Of course, they were working to buy the election. But what we have seen and what Doge and our amazing team at USDA, 186,000 dead people are receiving SNAP benefits. 500,000 people are getting paid twice. We've made hundreds of arrests. We have a lot more to do. But this was, I think, an unintended consequence of the Democrats shutting the government down for 43 days, is it shined this very bright light on one of their pet programs and now has given us a platform to completely deconstruct the program, make sure those vulnerable Americans who really need that benefit are going to get it. And for all the rest of the fraudsters and the people who are corrupt and taking advantage of it, we're going to protect the taxpayer too.
You know, I wonder if the EBT queens are starting to regret their decisions yet. Because all of this is happening because of them. The government was shut down. It would have reopened. Everyone would have gotten their food stamps. And everyone would have moved on like nothing happened. But they decided that for weeks on end, day in and day out, they were going to upload ghetto ratchet videos, whining and complaining about not getting their food stamps, threatening to loot, threatening to rob, threatening to kill people and go in their house and raid their refrigerators. So all of this is happening because of them. Everyone on food stamps now has to reapply because of them. So if you're someone who gets food stamps, if you're someone who actually needs food stamps, and to be clear, I've tried to make this clear over the last month, I have no issue with people getting food stamps who actually need them. But if you're one of those people, do not get upset at people like me for calling out this behavior. Get mad at the ratchet ghetto people who have been putting this behavior on full display for the world to see. Because you don't have to reapply for food stamps because of what I've said. You have to reapply for food stamps because of the obese, bonnet-wearing ghetto bimbos that were threatening to kill everyone and steal and take their groceries. That's why you got to reapply. That's why this whole entire system is about to be gutted. There are things that you used to be able to buy with EBT that you're not going to be able to buy with EBT anymore. There aren't thousands, there are millions of people that are going to be kicked off of these benefits. And the people who keep their benefits, a lot of them are going to have to take their asses to work for the first time in their lives. And like I said, the EBT queens only have themselves to blame. And at the beginning of this video, I said, I wonder if they regret their decisions yet. Well, guess what? They don't. Because people like them are incapable of regretting their decisions. They're not smart enough. People like them do not have the mental capacity to regret their decisions, nor do they have the mental capacity to understand that there will be consequences and repercussions for their decisions in the future, right? They don't understand that. So even though, as you heard, arrests are already being made. People are being arrested for food stamps fraud. People are getting kicked off of food stamps. People are being fined and they owe the government all of this back money. Every dollar that they ever received on food stamps, now they owe the government that money back. There's all kinds of things happening. But what are the EBT queens doing? They're still online making their videos, bragging about committing food stamps fraud while showing off all of the food and stuff that they're getting with their EBT cards. So not only have they not learned their lessons, they're like doubling and tripling down on the ghetto nonsense, making people want to take away food stamps from them even more. And like I said, look, There are going to be people that maybe do need food stamps that aren't going to have them anymore because you're going to be dealing with the consequences and repercussions of, the bad people who are getting food stamps, the bad apples. And I don't even want to call them bad apples because there's way too many of them to call them bad apples. They're running rampant throughout the system. But I have a clip right here that I want to show you. Before I roll that clip, though, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. It takes 1 second. I'm not asking you to get a job. I'm not asking you to do anything more than what these EBT queens do. All I'm asking you to do is hit the like button. While you're at it, drop a comment, maybe share the video. If you're feeling generous during the holiday season, you could always donate to the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks if you really appreciate the videos and the work that I put in bringing you guys this information day in and day out. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
When I tell y'all everybody looking at me crazy to the point that he's like, oh, you gotta feed your family, huh? Yeah, and do. The fuck? Yeah. Because I'm not cashing nothing in. I'm not swiping nothing in. I buy food. Clock it.
Show me you got food stamps without saying you got food stamps.
Oh my God.
Isn't it great?
Chris.
I know, it's my dream.
I have goosebumps.
After covering the EBT wars for over a month or so, something finally hit me. And I don't know why this didn't hit me sooner, but I was thinking, when watching clips like the one I just showed you, I don't think I've ever, in the entirety of my life, I don't think I've ever seen someone not on food stamps. I've never seen someone who buys their own groceries film videos of their grocery hauls. Like, I really had to start thinking, right? Because there's all kinds of content on the internet, and I'm sure this type of content exists. But in all my years on planet Earth, I never saw people recording their grocery hauls, people who buy their own groceries. And at the very least, it's never been something that is like a trend, right? I've never seen people who buy their own groceries film videos of their shopping carts with groceries in it at the checkout. I've never seen people who buy their own groceries film videos of them dancing in front of their refrigerator while putting food in their refrigerator. I've never seen people who buy their own groceries do dances and start twerking in the middle of the grocery store in front of their filled shopping carts. I've never seen anything like this from people who buy their own groceries. I've only seen this behavior from people on food stamps. Why is that? Why is that? Back in the day, being on food stamps, getting some sort of government assistance was something that people would be embarrassed about. It's something that people would be shy about. They would be ashamed of. Because, people used to feel shame. There used to be a certain level of humility and humbleness, right? And I think that was a good thing. I'm not saying that if you're on food stamps, you should be ashamed of yourself and you're a lesser person than I am. But I'm also saying, I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that this is not something that you should necessarily be bragging about. Being on food stamps is not something that anyone should be proud of. I'm not saying that you should feel bad about it and the world should look at you like a lesser of a human being. I'm not saying that. But if you're on food stamps, it's not something that you should be bragging about. It's not something that you should be proud of. You should not be filming videos, dancing, and celebrating about your food stamps, yet that's where we are nowadays. That's where we are nowadays, and that's why this problem has gotten so bad. Because there is no shame. There is no feeling embarrassed. Like back in the day when it came time to swipe your EBT cards, you kind of would be embarrassed. She didn't want anyone to see. Nowadays, they're doing the Dougie, busting it wide open, twerking, shaking their butt cheeks while holding up their EBT card with their kids, dancing around with all of the groceries they just got with their food stamps. Now, my question is, why? Why? Everyone likes food. Everyone likes getting groceries. But why are people on food stamps the only one making these videos? Why are they the only ones pumping out these videos, bragging about all of the food they got, showing off all of their food? Well, it's because for many of them, what it's all about, the reason they make these videos is that they want to rub it in people's faces. More specifically, they want to rub it in white people's faces. That's what it's really about. But we won't go that deep. We'll just keep it at a general level for the sake of this video. The reason why you don't see people who buy their own groceries showing off their grocery hauls is because they don't feel the need or the desire to rub what they have and what they're eating in anyone else's face. The people on food stamps, they do this as an aha moment. Like a little kid, look at you. You work 50, 60 hours a week. You bust your ass all day, every day to afford just a little bit of food. But look at us, we do absolutely nothing. We contribute nothing. We make everyone else's life a living hell. We cause drama and scenes and problems everywhere we go. And guess what we get in exchange? We get thousands of dollars in free food, free money that we're going to flaunt in your face and brag about. Do you think they make their EBT videos to show other people on EBT, hey, look, I got all my food for free. You got your food for free? Yeah, no, they do it to rub it in people's faces who aren't on food stamps. Because in their mind, they think it's funny. They get some sort of gratification, some sort of satisfaction from contributing absolutely nothing, but raking in so much. They feel as if this is a form of get back or revenge or something. I don't know exactly what's going through their minds, but there's a reason why only people on EBT, only a certain type of people on EBT are the ones making these videos. And it's not hard to really put two and two together.